Hi, my name is Montag Genzer, and I'm going to be presenting on the history of the J.M. Smucker Company. The J.M. Smucker Company was founded in 1897 by Jerome Monroe Smucker. The company produces many types of jellies, jams, and other food items, and has evolved immensely over the last 100 years. Jerome was born on December 5th, 1858, in Orville, Ohio, about 45 minutes south of Cleveland. Much of his life was spent as a farmer in Orville. In 1897, Jerome built a cider mill that was located in Orville. He used fruit that was from the trees that Johnny Appleseed had planted in the early 19th century. Later, he prepared apple butter and sold it from the back of a horse-drawn wagon. Smucker staked his name and reputation on each crock of apple butter, hand-signing the paper lid on every package that he sold. The J.M. Smucker Company is America's top producer and marketer of jams, jellies, and preserves. Operating in the United States, Canada, Great Britain, Mexico, and Australia, it also manufactures and markets peanut butter, ice cream toppings, fruit drinks, and syrups. The familiar corporate trademark, with a name like Smucker's, it has to be good, alludes both to the company's founding family and its reputation for high-quality products around the world. In 1915, the first year for which records are available, the business was bringing in nearly $60,000 and netting almost $3,000 annually, which is a lot of money back in the day. And by the time it was incorporated in 1921, Smucker's offered a full line of preserves and jellies. Sales topped $147,000, and the year the J.M. Smucker Company was capitalized at $100,000. J.M. Smucker owned 94% of the private company's stock. His sons and daughters split the remainder of that 6%. The company had grown to such a scale that in 1928, the Pennsylvania Railroad built a special siding to the Smucker plant, as the company's products were distributed in ever-increasing volume throughout Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Indiana as well. Packaging and marketing were taken for granted at many times until 1938, when Willard, who directed the establishment of Smucker's first facility outside of Ohio, wanted to shift to a more modern glass package without losing the Smucker reputation for old-fashioned quality. The glass jars that were designed and later trademarked reflected the old crock and its label showing a pioneer woman boiling a batch of apple butter over an open fire, reinforced Smucker's quaint image. The new package was a success. After its introduction, sales surpassed the 1 million mark in 1939. In 1961, Paul Smucker, Jerome's son, became president of Smucker's. In spite of merger offers from such respected giants of the food industry as Quaker Oats, Ralston Purina, Beatrice Foods, and Borden, the family opted to remain independent and keep growing on their own for the movement. They offered 1/3 of the company to the public, raising $2.3 million for capital investments. In the 1980s, sales for Smucker's more than doubled from $151 million in 1980 to $367 million in 1989, and earnings quadrupled during that same time period, from $6 million to over $27 million. The reason for this, as you might be able to guess, is that Smucker's began its international efforts during this time frame. It acquired Canada's Good Morning brand marmalade and Shrift's ice cream toppings, as well as Elsenham's Quality Foods, a British manufacturer of specialty preserves, marmalades, and fruit chutneys. Since 1998, the company has appeared on Fortune magazine's annual listing of the 100 best companies to work for in the United States, ranking number 1 in 2004, which was a great accomplishment for this company. In June 2008, Smucker's announced it would purchase the Folgers Coffee brand division from Procter & Gamble for $3.3 billion, taking this company to another level in this industry. The company announced in 2015 that it would buy Big Heart Pet Brands, the pet food company once known as Del Monte, from its private equity owners for about $5.8 billion, including debt, in a bid to expand into a fast-growing $21 billion business, which is worth much more than many Fortune 500 companies today. The J.M. Smucker Company named Mark Smucker to replace his uncle, Richard Smucker, who was after Timothy, as the chief executive officer as part of a transition plan that the more than century-old food-producing company says that will help guide them to a long-term growth as well as expand their goals internationally, even more so than they are already today. I would now like to pass this on to our next presenter to talk about where all these products and brands are sold internationally.